Okay, cool. Let's start. Can you see the screen? Okay. All right. Yeah, okay. So we are discussing the basics of DHA process. And then, of course, I will tell you my personal experience about PT career in Dubai. Okay, so it can differ. You all can have a better opportunities than what currently I am having. Uh, Also, the whole DHA process. Sometimes there are a couple of changes which they introduce every now and then. So you might when you start your process, whenever you might experience some changes in the entire process. So I'm giving you just a gist, an idea about the DHA process today. Okay, so let's start with this is going to be the flow today. So let's understand what are the requirements and the entire process and the financial aspect of it. It is majorly I will be discussing it for Indian physios. So if any Pakistani physio has joined the discussion, then I think it would be advisable that you talk to your respective people who are from your country in terms of the finances. And also there are a couple of documents which are needed from your end as a Pakistani physio. Okay, so this is majorly for people who are practicing in India and who are Indian citizens. So, what are the requirements for the DHA process? You obviously need a BPT degree and or MPT degree. Even on your BPT degree, you can get the DHA license. So there is no problem whether you are only BPT or only you have done your bachelor's. It's not necessary here that you should have an MPT degree, then only you can get the DHA eligibility. So that is ruled out. Even the BPTs can apply and they will also get the eligibility letter. The only thing is your degree has to be from a valid and authorized university, which are under, they should, the university should be authorized, okay? And no DPTs and diplomas are considered as eligible here. So you need your degrees, and also I forgot to mention here, you either need your mark sheets or to upload. You either need your mark sheets or transcripts from your respective universities. I have uploaded my mark sheets. I did not go ahead with the transcripts because I had limited time to the process and finish it off. So I applied my when I was processing and I was doing my document verification. That time I proceed with the mark sheets. So for Indian physios, mark sheets are, you can apply along with your BPT mark sheets. Okay, first year, second year, third year, final year, and your MPT mark sheet, and then your degree certificate, BPT or MPT. Okay, then of course you need a registration certificate from either from State Council, and even IAP certificate is also valid. So if you are registered as a physiotherapist in Indian Association of Physiotherapy, or in your respected state council like Maharashtra OTPT Council or Delhi OTPT Council, any state-wise council registration certificate is also okay, and IAP is also fine. So you need to be a registered physio in your home country in order to go ahead for the application. All right, so if you have not if you're not working as a registered physio and you want to go ahead and start your DHA process, apply for the registration certificate today only, because it takes little time to get the registration certificate, and after that only you can proceed with your, because this is one of the important document. Then of course you have good standing certificate. Now what is the good standing certificate? It basically tells them or gives them an idea that there are no criminal offenses against you as a physio, and you are basically practicing very you basically have a clean practice in your home country. So good standing certificate, state council also provides, like your Maharashtra OTPT or your Delhi council or whatever, MP council, whichever state you are practicing in. Even IAP website also has an option to apply for good standing certificate. The IAP good standing certificate will come in 2 days time. The state council good standing certificate takes 3 to 4 weeks to come. So also for good standing certificate, the rule is it should not be older than 3 months. So they want the recent good standing certificate. So for example, if you want to apply for DHA process in the month of, say, for example, April now. So you need to get the good standing certificate in March so that it will be the most recent one. You can't have कि आज मैं good standing certificate apply कर देती हूँ या apply कर देता हूँ and then I will receive it and I will keep it with me. No, it has to be not more than 3 months old. So whenever you want to start your process, you decide about that, and you decide whether you're applying from state council or you're applying from IAP, because IAP one is expensive than state council, because I think IAP takes around 2,500 for good standing certificate, whereas the state council is I think the Maharashtra state council, it was 1,000 somewhere. Okay, I don't remember now, but you choose whichever you want to apply. Do not increase your documents, because per document you have to pay more amount for the whole process. Okay, so either you go ahead with state council registration certificate and state council's good standing certificate, or apply with IAP registration certificate and IAP good standing certificate. So do not mix both the things together, because jitna documents बढ़ता जाएगा उतना उसका amount बढ़ता है. Okay, so per document they charge in terms of the whole credential evaluation process. So I would suggest you jitne kam document hai utna better hai, you will not spend more. So good standing certificate not more than 3 months old, from either state council or from the Indian Association of Physiotherapists. You just have to go on the websites, respective websites, and apply for good standing certificate. Pay the amount and you will receive it in your email. Then of course you need work experience certificate. Work experience certificate, 2 years of working experience is compulsory. If you're applying immediately after BPT, again 2 years of work experience is needed. If you're applying after MPT, then they need 2 years of working experience after MPT. Okay, so not like आपका BPT का 2 साल का experience है and then you have done MPT and then you're immediately applying. No, sometimes in such cases they might not proceed with the previous experience, because they need 2 years of working experience after your respective degrees. Even after MPT, they will require 2 years of working experience after your most recent degree. Okay, so if you're pursuing your MPT right now, but you still have 2 years of experience after BPT, I would advise you to take 2 years of experience after your master's and then go ahead with the DHA process. Okay, so minimum 2 years of work experience is compulsory. I heard that now they are considering to rule out this work experience from the whole process, and they will give an opportunity to the freshers who are freshers in the home country as well. So if at all that happens, then you can directly apply after your BPT or directly apply after your MPT. All right, but that's not yet legal here. I heard that these discussions are going on under DHA. DHA is Dubai Health Authority. Okay. Then you, of course, have your passport copy, preferably in the PDF format. And all these documents, I would suggest you to make one folder in which all these documents, your mark sheets, your degree, your registration certificate, your IAP or state council, whatever, good standing certificate, work experience certificate, and your passport copy in the PDF format. That is preferred than more than the JPG or image format. So in the PDF format, you make one folder, keep all the documents ready in one folder. So whenever you start your process, all you have to do is on the website, when you're uploading the document, it will be more structured and more easy for you when you start uploading the one document in that on that website. So what I had done is I had converted all the documents in a PDF format, and I kept one folder ready for my DHA document. Okay. In terms of work experience certificate, they simply want to check the 2 years of working experience on your certificate. Okay. So wherever you're working right now, just get a very straightforward work experience certificate जिसमें सिर्फ इतना लिखा होगा कि so and so, like for example me, Pallavi Sergey was working with Bombay Hospital as a senior neurophysiotherapist. That's it. Tenure of the service, total tenure of the service, suppose 3 years, 9 months, whatever, and then the signature and the stamp. That's it. So they want a very, very straightforward work experience certificate. They don't want to see the testimonial and the reference letter kind of a thing in the certificate. They just simply want um, to check your tenure of the service. That means for how many years you have worked under that organization. So the certificate should have your organization's email ID and the person's contact details or email ID, whatever, so that they can call or they can send the email for the verification. Okay. So whenever you are making work experience certificate, this is specifically for people who are working in local clinics. If you're working under one clinic or a local clinic, not a very rehab center or a hospital where things are more professional. If you're working in such clinic or you're working as a home care physio, so then you need to get a work experience certificate from that particular clinic. Or as a home care physio, agar aap kaam kar rahe, to I would request you to get work experience certificate from anybody, any doctor who is providing you the visits. That's what I have done. Well, I have taken work experience certificate from one of my neurologists who was referring cases to me. So he made a work experience certificate for me on his letterhead, where his email ID and his contact details were mentioned. And he simply wrote that Dr. Pallavi Sergey was working with me as a reference-based home care physiotherapist from so and so date to so and so date, or from so and so month, year to so and so month and year. Total tenure of the service, whatever, 3 years, 4 months, or whatever, and then sign and the signature and stamping. That's it. So make a very, very straightforward work experience certificate. I will share one of my experience regarding all these documents later on once we start the reality discussion. In that I will tell you, but just make the work experience certificate absolutely straightforward. Nothing mentioned, only your tenure of service is mentioned and your designation is mentioned. That's it. So that's about the work experience certificate. I will share my work experience certificate, what I had submitted for the DHA. So you all can make the similar ones from whatever respective workplaces you are in, or make sure that you have the similar format for your experience certificates. Okay. So these are the documents which are required. Either mark sheets or your transcripts from your universities. For Pakistani physios, I think there are two more documents which they require from your Pakistani Physio Association. I'm not very sure about that, but that's what I have heard from people who are working here. There are two more documents which are needed, and I think your degree also needs to be attested from your Pakistan. That's what they require from people who are practicing in Pakistan as a physio. Okay, so these are the required documents. The process is very, very simple, very straightforward, nothing confusing. Once you go on the website, you create everything. It is very, very straightforward process. Okay, so it does not require a lot of it is not confusing. It's pretty straightforward in terms of everything. Two things you need to remember: that the work experience certificate pattern, what I discussed, and second is about good standing certificate, that should not be older than 3 months. So they need to see that you hold a good standing certificate from your respective registration council, either state council or IAP. that you don't have any criminal cases against you, and you are basically completely clean as a physio, okay, but not more than 3 months old. Then the process flow. How does the process start? You obviously have to create a, you go on the DHA website, that is this www.dha.gov.ae. You create ID and password there. Whenever you're creating an ID there, it should be simply straightforward ID. No mention of doctor in that, no mention of PT, physio, no. Just write down your name and your surname and create an ID with that, because that ID password generates a DHA unique ID for you. So it is going to be something based on your full name, right? So my DHA ID was Pallavi Sarje 1215. Okay, so sometimes only name, they also require the number in your ID. They have their own rules, right? So, but my point is, make sure that it is simple ID and simple password which you don't forget. So create the ID with your name, with your initials. My ID was Pallavi Sarje 1215. It was as simple as that. And of course, the password. So you log in, you create the ID password there. Then there is once the first segment for the DHA process is self-assessment. One second. Sorry, excuse me. Yeah, so the free self-assessment. In self-assessment, what they ask whether you have 2 years of work experience. So they have options there. You just have to click those options. So they will ask you whether you have 2 years of experience. When you say yes, they will ask you the year. So from December 2013 to December 2015. So that is my work experience in terms of the years. Then they ask whether you hold a BPT degree or MPT degree or a PhD degree or master's degree. In that free self-assessment, you choose BPT degree, even if it is even if you hold a master's degree. In the self-assessment, do not choose the master's thing, because here they, in the free assessment, they consider masters as a MSc, or not as an MPT here. Okay, so just choose bachelor's degree in the free assessment. Then you check, they ask for the work experience, and then once you click on all these things, then they give you a window which says now you're eligible for the professional registration as a physiotherapist under DHA. Okay, then the actual process starts. So then you have a window in which they tell you to go ahead. So go ahead, and then you choose a proper day to upload all the documents for your primary source verification. Now, DHA has another, I would say, another company to do this primary source verification, which is called as data flow company. So you will, the moment you will start uploading all the documents, you will start getting emails from data flow company. Okay, so you will never get any email from DHA per se. You will start getting emails from data flow company for this primary source verification. What is primary source verification? Whatever documents we discussed in the previous slides, they all those all documents will be verified by data flow company, which is associated with Dubai Health Authority. So all those documents, your degree, your mark sheet, they will call up the university, they will call up your workplace, they will call up IAP or state council, and they will ask for the verification whether this document is correct or no. And if suppose they fail to come on the call, or fail to reply to the emails by DHA or by data flow, then they also visit physically. So in India also they have DHA office in Goregaon, Mumbai, from where they arrange a physical visit on the spot to do this primary source verification. So ऐसा नहीं है कि वो लोग verify नहीं करते हैं, and it's like all very simple process. It's not like that. They verify each and every document you upload, either in terms of phone call, either in terms of email, or either in terms of physical visit. So first, obviously, will be a phone call and email ID, email to email conversation. And if your university or your workplace or IAP or whatever, they fail to give the verification, then they arrange for a physical visit. So physically, personally, DHA के office से एक इंसान जाएगा, and that person will do all the primary verification for you. After that, they generate the PSV report. So either the PSV report is positive, that means all your documents are very well verified and there is no problem in your documents, or it will be negative. Negative means they will ask for some more documents from you and then they re-verify everything and then they will give you the positive PSV report. Okay. So when you go on the website, I will suggest you that you take the self-assessment on the same day जब आप सारे documents upload करने वाले हो. बहुत बार क्या होता है, many times I have seen people self-assessment करके रख देते हैं because it is free. Then they forget about the email ID and login ID and password for DHA website. Then they put the same, they try to sign up with the same Google ID to create one more DHA ID, and then the website says that this ID is already registered, this email ID is already registered with us. So I will suggest you कि जिस दिन आपको पता है, now you have money, you have your credit card ready for the payment, you have everything ready to start the process, that time itself take the free assessment, because free assessment is only 2 minutes job. They just ask you about your basics, कि आपके पास BPT degree है, आपके पास documents है, आपके पास experience है. It's just a yes no kind of a option. There are many YouTube videos also on the this entire process flow, so you can just go and check the YouTube video as well. वो self assessment करने के बाद just directly go and click the next button and then start uploading your documents. Okay. So I would suggest you कि जिस दिन document upload करना है, just do the self assessment also on the same day. Otherwise, it will be very confusing for you in terms of your login ID and in terms of your Gmail ID and all of that. What I had done, I had created a new Gmail ID when I started my entire process. Okay. And I kept the same Gmail ID for everything. Even if for my company also, where I'm working right now, I have given the same Gmail ID because my company was activating my hard license and my MOH license for other Emirates, Sharjah and stuff like that. So I kept the same email ID. So you all can also do the same thing. एक नया email ID बनाओ जो सिर्फ और सिर्फ DHA के लिए ही होगा, जिसपे सिर्फ डेटा फ्लो का ईमेल आएगा, एंड देन you can remember, you can write it down properly, your email ID, password, your Gmail ID and password, and you can also write down your DHA login ID and password there only. So it's easy for you कि आप भूलेंगे नहीं. When you have the money ready, when you have your credit card ready, debit card payments are not acceptable, so you have to keep the credit card ready. मेरे पास भी credit card नहीं था. I have taken my brother's credit card and I did the payment. So keep your credit card ready before you click on the payment button after uploading these documents. Okay. So the first step is free assessment. The second step is uploading all the documents. Now remember, जितने ज़्यादा आपके documents आएंगे, उतना ज़्यादा आपको pay करना पड़ेगा. So do not, if you're working at 3-4 places all together, suppose, and after your MPT, for example, you're working at 3 clinics, I would suggest you that you take experience letter from one clinic only, or from one place only, which has 2 years of experience, and only upload that document. Otherwise, you will have to pay more. The more documents you will upload, the more payment you have to do. Another thing in terms of the payment, one more thing is, some of the universities from India are the deemed universities or the private universities which are not under the DHA regulations. So you have to pay more if you have a degree certificate from that particular university. For example, my university, Pravara Medical College, was not under the DHA, the list of the colleges. I don't know what all colleges are there in that. But when I started uploading my documents, when I started putting the details of my college and the address and everything in that window, then there was one small window which appeared on my screen, which said that you have to pay, I think, some 20 dirhams more for this particular document, because my university was deemed university. So that's why also for my BPT degree and for my MPT degree, I have paid some, you can say around 100 dirhams extra for my document. Even for IAP certificate also, I think it is little bit additional in terms of the payment. Okay. So overall, I will discuss the cost later on in the next slides. But once you choose to upload the documents, be very careful about the information you're putting, because you have to manually enter also everything. Like, it's not only just submitting the document, it's also you have to put it manually. So there are, in that website, there are options to fill it up, like your university name, your university phone number, your university address, your university's full details, everything. So that you have to click upload it manually, and then you upload the PDF of your degree, so that they have all the information for doing the primary source verification. Okay. Once you upload the document, they will the window will appear that whether you would like to proceed for the payment. So you proceed for the payment after uploading your passport, you're uploading IAP or whatever state council registration certificate, good standing certificate, mark sheets, and your degrees, BPT, MPT degree. After that, you proceed for the payment and you make the credit card payment for all the documents, whatever comes as a total. The total can differ from person to person because of our university status. Okay, so sometimes some of the deemed universities have to pay little more. Like, if your document is from a deemed university, you have to pay little more. All right. So once you choose to do the payment, apply your credit card details. It's a very, very safe transaction. Apply your credit card details and pay the amount. So then you will have one set is ready, that you have uploaded all the documents. Now rest of the things, the primary source verification, data flow starts doing it, and you also start getting WhatsApp messages, because you have to put your number from data flow, and you also start getting emails from data flow. Okay. Once you do upload all the documents side by side, you can book your exam if you think you are ready for the exam on the same website. Okay, so on the same website, they have an option to book the Prometric exam. That is your next step. So it's not like that if the documents are not submitted, you cannot book. You can book the exam prior, and then you can submit the documents. That's also possible. So after self-assessment on the same website, you can book the exams also. What I have done is सेल्फ असेसमेंट किया, डॉक्यूमेंट्स अपलोड किया. जिस दिन डॉक्यूमेंट अपलोड किया उसी दिन मैंने ऑन द सेम वेबसाइट I checked the schedule for the exam, and I chose one. They show you the options of the days also, and the dates also, and the centers also. There are two options. You can give the exam in India, and you can also give the exam in Dubai. I would personally recommend you to do everything from India itself. यहाँ आके exam नहीं देना, because here it will be further costly for you. It will be expensive. So it's better that you give the exam in India itself. I think they have centers in Bombay, Delhi, Bangalore, Hyderabad, and I think also Chennai. Okay, so out of all whatever center you think, Bombay also, they have, I think, 4 centers. One in Goregaon, no, 2 are in Goregaon. One is in South Bombay, and I think one is in on the central side. I'm not very sure, but you can, once you choose the city to give the exam, there are options for choosing the centers also. So just choose whatever is your convenient center. I had gone to Goregaon center. And you can choose the date and the time of the exam based on the schedule they provide. But जाना है, वो submit करना है. Then you get an email receipt in terms of like a hall ticket, which you have to carry to the center for your exam. So once you submit the document, you can just book the exam whenever you think you are ready to to give the exam and to to go ahead with the next step. Okay. Now pay for the exam, choose the location, date, time, everything. The Prometric exam is a multiple choice question exam. 150 questions are being asked, and you get around 3 hours to complete that. It is a computer based assessment. तो सेंटर पे वो पुराना you remember we used to have those what do you say, cyber cafes. So the exam center is exactly like that. It's a computer based assessment. They give you a headset before going into the exam room. There is a whole thorough security checkup is being done. तो कुछ भी कैरी नहीं कर सकते. You can't carry water, you can't carry food, you cannot carry anything except your passport as your ID. The printout of the hall ticket, what they sent you on the your email ID, your registered email ID, and no pen, pencil, nothing is allowed in the exam because it's a computer-based assessment. And also, it is under a very, very thorough supervision. So you cannot carry anything with you. All right. So just carry your passport. That's like your ID and the hall ticket, whatever email comes for the exam, that. So they check that, they enter your things in the system, they check your passport, do a physical security checkup. Then you go sit in front of the computer, and then the timer comes, and then you start the Prometric exam. It's a multiple choice question, extremely easy. Okay, I will discuss the exam part later on, but it's a very, 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 very simple exam. It's based on the very basic concept. If someone is telling you that you need a specific coaching for DHA exam, it is stupidity. I will give you the Prometric notes. All the questions comes from that PDF only. इतना उस PDF का मतलब similar है that they don't even change the options of the in that PDF whatever I have studied. So initially when I received those 4 PDFs which were Prometric exam notes, and my friend told me that the questions come from the same, I mean from all these 4 PDFs, इसी में से questions आते हैं. So I was a little skeptical, me being me, that I should study. What if the questions will not come, from these PDFs? So what I will do is I will just do a basic, a revision of everything, and then I will solve the PDF, and I will keep solving those questions from the PDF, because I think in that 4 PDFs what I have is, I think, more than 500 questions are there. So then I used to study the basics. I will discuss that later on, but I used to study all of that and then solve the 10 pages of that PDF. And then when I appeared for the exam, I realized that all the questions were actually from those PDF notes which I have. तो बहुत सिंपल एग्जाम होता है. इट्स अ वेरी वेरी स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड एग्जाम. कुछ भी डिफिकल्ट क्वेश्चंस नहीं है. इट्स प्योरली बेस्ड ऑन द बेसिक कॉन्सेप्ट, एंड इफ योर clinical reasoning is good and you have seen cases and you have treated patients, then you will be able to solve the questions also very easily. Usually within 2 days the exam result comes on the DHA website, and they only mention pass or fail. They don't mention any day, what do you say? Out of 150, the marks and all, they don't mention. They just mention pass or fail. And I think you need 60%, the answer should be correct. I think so. I'm not very sure. But yeah, 60%, I think you need to answer all the questions correctly. Total 150 questions are being asked. Okay. So let's discuss the exam part later on. Let's finish this. So you pay for the exam, you choose the center, you give the exam, then you wait for your PSV report email from DHA. So you receive one email that, not from DHA, sorry for the correction here, from your data flow. They mention that all the checks are completed and your PSV report is ready. Click here to download the report. So it is a password protected report. Your birth date is your password. So you click on the email, put your birth date, and you receive your PSV report. which says that positive. So all the checks, whatever documents you have submitted, they have undergone and they have um, checked all the documents and you are clear. Once you get a positive PSV report, go on the dha.gov.ae, that website where you have created a login ID. Go there, ID password dal ke log in into it. Then once you log in, you will understand whatever there only the data flow directs the PSV report directly to DHA, so you don't have to upload it or whatever. You will see there the PSV report attached under your name. The exam result is also attached there, pass or fail. The next option is to click that you would now like to go ahead with the professional registration. That means the next and the final step is to get the eligibility letter, which comes from the same website. So everything gets automatically attached to that website under your login ID and no, password, under that whatever login ID is there, which DHA creates. You will see positive PSV report, exam also pass. Click on the next button which says that you would like to go ahead for the professional registration, that is apply for eligibility letter. So once you apply, once you go there, you have to pay again for the eligibility letter. So again, keep your credit card ready for the payment. Pay for the eligibility letter. You will receive an email that the payment is being received and they are processing for the eligibility letter. Sometimes even before issuing the eligibility letter, they can still recheck your documents again via data flow, recheck your PSV report, and then they issue the eligibility letter. If you are applying in the month of Ramadan, that is, it will start in the next month, the process is slightly faster because we have a half day working here. The government workers, so they have a half day working, so they do the process very easily. So when I applied for eligibility letter, it was in the month of Ramadan last year, and I received my eligibility letter in one day. Okay, so I applied it today, and the next day towards the end, I have received an email that congratulations, you are being professionally registered in DHA and all of that. Otherwise, in the non-Ramadan months, it takes around 2 weeks to 2 to 3 weeks time for your eligibility letter to come to your email. Okay, so eligibility letter is simply they have a DHA unique ID on it, your name. It's valid for 1 year. So if it is issued on 16th of April 2024, it will be valid till 16th of April 2025. Okay, so 1 year is the eligibility letter ka validity. Okay, simply putting, within this 1 year's time, you need to get a job to convert the eligibility letter into the license. You never get DHA license after giving exam and after your PSV report. You get DHA license, the active license, only after a healthcare facility hires you here. Okay, so before once you receive your eligibility letter, that simply means now you're eligible to apply for the job in UAE. Okay, so you apply for the job in Dubai, not UAE, sorry. So once you get your eligibility letter, start applying for the jobs or via various platforms, and let's discuss that later. Uh, so what they do is, suppose one organization tells you that you are hired and they give you the offer letter which you sign. What they do is they take your DHA ID, login ID, password details. Now, every healthcare facility here has their own DHA account. So what they do is, via their DHA account, they take your eligibility letter and then they submit that to DHA, and the DHA activates your license based on your offer letter. Okay, and then your license is activated. So the DHA eligibility letter is not your license. It is only a document which is valid for 1 year, which simply means you are eligible to apply for the jobs in Dubai. Okay, it's not your license. So get that straight and clear from your head. Okay, now how much you have to pay? for all this process, whatever I have discussed, the document verification, the PSV report, the primary source verification, it takes around 900 to 1000 AED, that is around 20,000 to 22,000. It can go up to 25,000 also, based on how many documents you are, really uploading. So it is something not fixed. So you keep, for example, 25,000 ready for your PSV verification. The Prometric exam is around 250 US dollars, which comes to around 18,000, 15,000 to 18,000 rupees, Indian rupees. Then the eligibility letter is 1020 AED. That means it is around 23,000 to 25,000 Indian rupees. Okay. So the total amount you have to keep ready is somewhere around 60,000 to 80,000, or take approximately 1 lakh Indian rupees for this entire process to be done. It is based on which, whether your college is a deemed college or a government college. Also, how many number of documents you are verifying. If at all you fail in the Prometric exam, then you have to reapply for the exam, then you have to pay more. And of course, the eligibility letter. The eligibility letter is, this is common, like this is for everyone, it's the same amount you're putting. The document verification cost might go up and down. Okay, so I paid around 70 to 75,000 Indian rupees for my entire process, and I did everything before entering Dubai. Okay, before entering UAE, I have had my eligibility letter already. Okay, I had my PSV positive report and my Prometric exam result ready. And then I came in April, and that's when I applied for the eligibility letter, and it came in like a date's time because that was Ramadan time. All right. So now let's discuss all your questions and reality here. I'm closing the presentation so I can give you a absolute straightforward idea about lots of things. Okay. First thing about the exam. Now, when you are applying for the exam or when you're studying for the exam, the questions are majorly the questions are based on anatomy, then kinesiology, electrotherapy, after that ortho rehabilitation, neuro rehabilitation, cardiopulmonary rehabilitation. Some of the questions were also based on physiology. Some of the questions were also based on orthopedic, the third year subject. So different types of fractures, different types of different names of the fractures. You have Bennett's fracture, you have this, you have that, so all of that. But major questions were based on electrotherapy, basics of electrotherapy, anatomy, of course, neuro rehab, and ortho rehab. Okay, so these are like the questions which were which were divided like that. I hardly received any questions from biochemistry in the exam. In terms of physiology, the questions were like, based on cardiac cycle or synapse, all of that. It was a very simple, straightforward questions. Once you start going through the Prometric notes, which I will share, you will understand the kind of the questions they have. I think the questions were also based on our Kistner chapters. That is your mobilization, stretching chapter. Definitely 2-3 questions were based on that. Some of the questions were based on exercise prescription as well. Okay, so once you start checking the Prometric notes, which I will share it with you, you will start understanding what sort of a questions they ask. Very simple exam. You don't need any sort of coaching for this. Okay, start reading your Kistner basic chapters, start reading your anatomy, start reading your electrotherapy, because so many questions they ask on the tense frequency, or your electrical stimulator frequency, galvanic current, direct current, these type of questions they ask. So start reading your basics of electrotherapy. Anatomy, of course, anatomy in terms of muscle origin, insertion, nerve supply, action. That was like the questions were based on that. um, for example, which is called as swimmer's muscle, all these type of questions. So very not very difficult exam at all. Okay. Second thing, once you go and you apply, I mean, you go on the center for the exam, and all the 150 questions you have clicked and you have chosen the multiple choice questions. Then you can go back and you can change the answer also. Okay, so suppose if you're not sure about any question, you can leave that question, you can go on the next question, and from the first question to 150 question, you can again go and recheck also. There is one option comes on the screen when you are going for the exam, where which allows you to go back, and question number 1 to question number 150, you can check all the answers again. You want to change the answer, you can click and you can choose another option also. Coming to the eligibility letter and all of that, so just understand the process. Okay, once you upload your document, you get a PSV report, the exam is also clear, you receive your eligibility letter, you start applying for the jobs. There are two options now. You can come here on a visit visa, okay, the tourist visa, and start applying for the jobs here. People don't entertain coming to the center physically and then you are handing over your CV and resume and all of that. People don't entertain that here. Hospitals question, when you are going for a job application, unlike in India, suppose you can go physically visit a hospital and go to the HR department and give your CV. All of that is not entertained here at all. The hospitals, they have their own vacancies on their own websites, so that is out of question. Getting a hospital job is very, very difficult here unless you have a very solid reference letter, or solid like a known person who is already working in the same system. Okay, otherwise you will not get a hospital job here. You can come, you can apply for the places like home care facilities. You can also apply to the clinics. There are people who are also applying in the gyms and health fitness centers. If that is your area of interest, you can go ahead for that as well. People are also applying for aesthetic clinics. That's not something I will endorse. I mean, if you're desperate enough to start you want to activate your license and you want to go ahead, fine with it. But I cannot imagine myself working at an aesthetic clinic where, you are just sitting there, or probably you are working on some machines for fat loss and all of that. I can't imagine myself doing such kind of a job. Okay. I am, I would still wait for a better opportunity and then apply for that, because you have 1 year's time. The eligibility letter is valid for 1 year, right? So you do have 1 year's valid time to get the job. So don't be extremely desperate for getting the opportunity, because here the hiring is slow in our profession. Okay, hiring is very, very slow. You have to keep taking the updates if you have applied for a job on their website, or to whatever email ID you have applied to. You can search the jobs on LinkedIn, you can search the jobs on Indeed, then you can search the jobs on Gulf portals, but nothing works, to be very honest. Here a lot of reference system works. So if you know someone, like for example, if you know me, and now I know that so and so person is hiring, or so and so clinic is hiring, then via reference, if I can get you into an interview and job, only that works here to begin with. Okay, so getting a job is a very, very difficult situation in Dubai. It's not so easy to get a job here. Plus, another reality is the starting salary is around 4,000 AED, which is hardly 80 to 90,000 Indian rupees, which you can earn that much money in India also. okay, with your home care. And if you're working, if you're serious enough to do some branding and marketing of yourself in India, you can earn that much money in India also. Because even if 4,000 is a big amount, for example, you are still spending here in dirhams, right? So what you can do is, um, you can accept the job if you want, but I will still advise you to push for 5,000 to 6,000. So minimum you should be earning, um, is 6,000 dirhams minimum in Dubai, okay? Because that's like the least amount you can, uh, if you want to live a good life and save the money and all of that. Then second thing what I really wanted to discuss is, there are organizations which will give you visa, uh, after they interview you, and they themselves, they will give you the visa for, and the work permit also. There are a couple of organizations which do not provide visa. So in that case, it's very difficult to get a freelance visa here. There is a category called as freelance visa, which comes to around 8 to 9,000 dirhams. That is around 2 to 3 lakhs Indian rupees. Okay, so with the freelance visa, then it is like a 2 year visa, or I think 1 year visa, where you can tell the organization that you have a freelance visa. Another option is a sponsored visa. So if your husband or if your wife, they are shifting and they are getting job in UAE, then you get a sponsored visa, which I am on. So I am on sponsored visa. I have not taken my company's visa. So my healthcare facility was providing me with a visa, but I have not taken it. I am continuing on my husband's sponsored visa. Okay, that's why I always say that do not compare my situation with your own situation, because honestly, me and my husband, we are working together, so we have a cumulative income here, and that's why for us it is easy to manage our expenses. So with my current salary is very good to begin with, because my healthcare facility, it's quite flexible, and of course I do have a previous like 9 years of experience, so they considered that. Not every facility will consider it. Okay, so even if I have 8 to 9 years of experience, I'm still considered as fresher in Dubai. So some organizations will definitely consider your home country experience, and they might offer you a better opportunity. Some of it they will not offer you. Okay, the clinics, for example, are very bad. The scenario in the local clinics is very bad. They hardly 4,000, 4,500 is the salary they offer, and you honestly need 2,500 to 3,000 dirhams for your own expenses here. Okay, because the rent is expensive. You have to start your driving license process here, which is again very, very costly, very expensive. You can't rely on the public transport because the taxis here are very expensive. You can utilize the metro till now, but then metro takes a lot of time. So overall, staying in terms of rent and electricity and water and all of that is very, very expensive here, and the transportation also. So 4,000 is really not enough, I feel, unless like you are sharing a bed space or something like that, where you are not, you are living in a like a villa where people live together, 13, 14 people all together in a bed space. Then you can definitely save some money, because that cost around 300 to 400 dirham as a rent, because it's just a bed space, and rest everything you can then save. Okay, but you should push to 5,000 to 6,000 dirham per month salary, which is, I feel, is like the most minimum. What is the process after you get a job here is, they take your DHA ID and password, they take your eligibility letter, they activate your professional license. You do get an email that license is activated. Then they apply to UAE government for the work permit. So after your DHA license is activated by your healthcare facility, the healthcare facility applies for work permit. If they are giving you visa, they will apply also for the visa. they sign the contract with you, like a 2-year contract or a 1-year contract. That depends on the facility. I have signed a 2-year contract. So they will give you the, suppose it's a 2-year contract, they will give you 2-year visa. They apply for that. Then they apply for the work permit. So once they apply for the work permit, I think it takes around 1 week to 10 days time to get your work permit. Once you get your work permit, you can start touching the patient and start actually treating the cases. Okay. Till then, they will not give you the joining date. Okay. So your joining date would be the date जब आपको work permit मिलेगा. Okay. So for me, when I started my job on 3rd of July, my orientation, but my work permit came on 13th of July. So 14th of July was my official date of joining. Okay. So till then, they only paid me for the orientation days, and which got over in around 4 days. And from 4th day to the whatever day ahead, the 10 days time, they did not pay me for that. So they only paid me, my payment was from 14th of July onwards, and the 3 to 4 days of orientation. That's it. So that is also an issue here. Without the work permit, you can't touch the patient. So even if you get the license and your work permit is pending, you can't start your work. Okay. Another thing is the visits are not legal here. It's not allowed here. There are physios who might be doing it illegally, taking the cash amount, but it's not advisable to do. So what I am doing is, whenever I am getting a private case, I am getting any references via my Instagram, or some other physio is referring because she follows me on Instagram. So what I do is I direct that to my healthcare facility, because it's a home healthcare facility. So where I am working is also a home healthcare facility. So I direct everything to my company, because you never know, what will happen in the session, and it will be a legal trouble for you. And here, the legal trouble means it's dangerous here. Okay, in terms of all these legalities. So I would not advise you to go ahead and do private visits like how we do it in India. Some people do it, but I am personally not. I don't prefer, doing all these illegal things here. Okay, so I hope I'm clear with the entire process to all of you. The reality here is it's very difficult to get the job, number one. Even if you get the job, it is hardly 4,000, 3,000 to 4,000 as a starting salary. Based on your experience, they might push you to 5,000 to 6,000 dirhams, which is still not enough, in my opinion, if you want to save money and if you want to earn more money. So you might as well stay in India and earn that much amount, right? Because here everything is expensive in terms of renting, stay, food. Food is not so expensive, but rent, electricity, water is like super expensive. The transport is also super expensive. So if you're getting hardly 3,000 to 4,000 dirham, then I will not advise you to take up the job. You minimum need 6,000 dirhams salary here to begin with. And of course, then they have their perks, that they increase the salary per year. Some of the places are also giving incentives, so you will receive an extra income in terms of incentives also. Okay, the only thing which in my experience is there is a lot of cultural variation. For me it was because probably I'm working in a home healthcare, so I visit different houses and different so I'm exposed to a lot of cultural variation that is challenging. English proficiency is very, very important. You need to understand English well, you need to talk English well, and if you can learn Arabic, that will be a major, major plus point. Okay, if you can speak in Arabic, because here they prefer Arabic speaking physios in many organizations, like many hospitals. So if you learn Arabic before coming here, and you can write that you can converse in Arabic, it would be like a plus point. Okay, the average expense here can range from 2,000 dirhams to 4,000 dirhams, based on what you choose to do. I am living in a 1 BHK because I'm with my family, I'm with my husband. So our monthly expense is obviously more because ours is our whole like a proper 1 BHK house. We are not living in a studio apartment, or we are not living in a bed space, right? So it's a 1 BHK. So our rent is more, our electricity, DEVA, which is DEVA means your water and electricity billing, gas, all of that. So our what you say expenses are definitely more, but then our cumulative income is also more. That's something I think I would not I don't want you all to compare with me, but if you're coming alone, then I think anywhere from 2000 to 4000 can be a monthly expense. And the monthly expense includes rent, electricity, water in terms of drinking water separately, and spending like your bathroom and all of that. That comes under DEVA, so that is separate. Transportation is again included in that. The driving license, if you want to apply for the driving license, it comes under different categories. Like you can give driving license exam only once, then you have to pay less. If you want unlimited chances to apply, reapply for the driving license, then it is different. So it is like that. But driving license is very, very expensive. You can buy a car here easily, but you can't get the license here easily because a lot of rules and regulations are there. Very difficult to get the license also because of the transportation rules. But yeah, on an average, the expense is around, the minimum of what I would say is around, minimum would be 1500, and up to 3000 you can have your own expenses, okay, including everything, rent, transport, and all of that. So imagine, so then you are only saving like 1000 dirhams per month, which is hardly anything, honestly speaking, in terms of saving also. So that's why you need minimum 5000 dirham salary here. So don't accept any offers which are giving 4000, because that's like the starting range they can offer you. After a years of experience, your salary can actually go to 10,000, 12,000, 15,000 dirhams also. I know one physio here. Now she shifted to UK, but she was working in UAE before, and she was working for around 4 years. So she definitely started with 8,000, 9,000 dirhams, and then within 4 years span, her salary was 22,000 dirhams. Okay. So once you start getting an experience, then of course the hike is really good here. Okay, so they consider you might get 50% or 70% hike also for our profession. Okay, healthcare profession. Once you have 1 year of experience on your CV, then applying for the hospital also is a plus point, and they might consider your application also. Okay, but कोई भी hospital में private जाके CV देना, it's like they don't entertain all of that. It's a very straightforward website based process here. So everything on the website, like application, applying for the job, in terms of hospitals, everything on the website. So don't consider that you apply for a suppose Canadian specialty hospital and you'll get a job here. No, it's not like that. So always start with either getting a job in a home care facilities, because that is really booming in Dubai right now, because it's very crowded now. It's very, very troublesome for the people to travel, and now the home care part is really increasing here. So you can Google home care facilities in Dubai and you can start applying the jobs there, because there is a possibility that you will get the job easily in home care facilities. Okay, and if you like to work in a home care, like how I love to work in home care, then it's a plus point, because the home care facilities will provide you with the driver, with the car. At least my home care facility is doing that. So I have a company's driver, I have company's car, and he takes me to every places, whatever is on my list. And it's a very pretty simple job. Okay, so I have like 3 to 4 cases in my system. I document that, I assess new cases, and everything is very simple. because it's a home healthcare. Some of the clinics are also good, but then they don't pay well. So the payment, the beginning of the career, if you want, you can start with the home care, because home care pays you well. The work is flexible because you have 3 to 4 patients only in a day you can do per physio, right? So the workload is also not so much, like 4 cases in a day is fine, right? So I think to begin with, one should really focus on getting a job in a home care or home health care, because it's not like India here that they contact you privately for the home sessions. No, everybody goes via a home care company only for the home sessions, for the home visits. You might get home visits in your own local vicinity where you're practicing, but that's illegal. That's not legal, considered legal here. Okay. So another question I have is time bound or target bound. It's both. Okay. So when you're talking about resume, okay, let's talk about the resume now. So they check your resume from two perspectives. One is how are your soft skills and what skills you have in terms of soft skills, like leadership, and do you have any experience in that domain. So they check for that in the CV. They also check your social media presence. Lot of vacancies I have seen that the condition for the job is that if you have a stronger social media presence, then it is preferred. They literally mention that in the job description. So definitely a digital presence is considered here. The work culture, yes, it is time bound also, and it is target bound also. Target bound in terms of they expect you to generate more revenue. Obviously, why will they hire you otherwise? It's a business. So they will calculate the incentives also based on how much sale you are doing, if it's a clinic based job, or it's a gym, fitness center based job. So they consider the incentives also like that. So how much revenue you're able to generate. Personally, I have never heard that they give you a target that you have to earn 15,000 AED for us, not like that. But they check the revenue generation. So if you're not able to generate more revenue for them, they can, in your probation period, which is 6 months, they can definitely tell you to go. So the probation period is compulsory for every organization. So initial 6 months is your probation period, in which they take the decision in terms of your performance, how much how much revenue is you're generating for them, and whether you're suitable for the organization or not. Okay. So that is one thing which is very common here, which is legal also, like every organization. So yeah, and in terms of CV, I think I will share my CV, which I made a couple of changes after coming to Dubai in my resume. Okay, so I will share that in the group. You all can check the resume. What I have done is, because one of my friend told me that if you can change your CV in terms of these things, then I should. Uh, it was simply they want to check in your work experience whether you were able to generate more revenue for your prior employer or prior organization, and if you were on your own, for example, home care. Okay, I was on my own in India for 4 years. So they check whether you have done enough work which can help them to generate more income, right? So what I have done in my resume is, of course, I mentioned that I have a stronger digital presence. So I have mentioned my Instagram following number also there in my resume. Second thing, what I mentioned in my home care experiences, 4.9 Google rated. So I think number one thing, which if you all are home care physios and you are into that, I think you should have your own my Google business profile, where you tell your what you say, patients and doctors and your family to review you. So if you get more reviews, then your profile also comes up, right? So I have mentioned that I'm 4.9 Google rated. Second thing I mentioned is I have treated so and so cases in my home care experience. Uh, and I could generate, like my revenue increased from like by 50% or by 70%, like that I have mentioned in my resume. How do you know that? If you are a complete home care therapist, like how I was, uh, you have to document your cases, right? So if you don't document your cases, in India also, you do not understand whether you are per month increasing your sales as a private practitioner or no. And they want to know that, trust me, because I have made those changes in my resume. And the moment I uploaded that resume to different things, I actually started getting more interview calls. But you know I think I must have given interview at three places, and then immediately I chose Manzil because I personally preferred the offer. The money was good, and the flexibility was like my priority. So I chose the I still, last month also I had got an interview call, but then right now I am with Manzil and I'm touchwood enjoying the job also. So I'm not considering um, you know any other thing right now. I have completed my probation also now. So I'm pretty happy with whatever money I'm getting. Definitely much, much, much more than the starting salary. What otherwise people have offered. So I'm definitely getting double than that. So I'm happy with the money I'm receiving, and the work culture is also good. Touch wood. Okay. The interview questions are based on your experience. The few questions they ask is, um, they obviously check how you talk. So your communication, soft skills, confidence is very important. Your dialect is also important. So if you're coming from a certain community, you do have certain dialects, right? Like the way you speak. For example, South Indians, or I don't know if any Pakistani physios are here in the. Any Pakistani physios here in the discussion? Just raise your hands if anybody's here. Okay. So, if you're South Indian, then you do have a specific dialect. So they definitely see all of that because we are working in healthcare. Um, it's more like a communicative job. So they check all of that, how confident you are in the interview, how you answer the questions, whether you fumble, how is your English, all of that. And the second thing, they ask you questions based on your experience. For example, my questions were based on my Bombay hospital experience, then my home care experience. In Manzil interview, the doctor, she asked me questions case to case. Okay, so she gave me two, three cases to discuss. Like she asked me, I have a patient with multiple fractures, and how will you rehabilitate this case, that case. So she gave me a case scenarios also. So that is also a possibility. One interview I have appeared for a clinic. There, it was a practical based interview. So the physio there, the head physio there, he was asking questions of X-rays also. So he asked me, he gave me one X-ray of lumbar spine, and he asked me what all things I can see in the X-ray. That was my first question. He made me perform some of the special tests also. And then he asked me questions related to basic orthopedic conditions, like how will you rehabilitate acute back pain? What is your short-term goal for, acute ONE? All of that. So case-based scenarios also they definitely ask in the interviews. Okay, but majority is, I think, in my opinion, is how you talk, how confidently you talk, your English. Um, and preferably you should not have any particular dialect when you are interacting. Okay, though South Indians are preferred in Dubai. If you are Mallu, if you are Malayali, then it is definitely preferred. Some of the organizations, they specifically ask for Malayali physios. So that is also a partiality here. So a lot of racism happens here, lot of discrimination also happens here. That is a reality. Okay, if you're working in Egyptian organization, very difficult to survive. If you're working in Emirati, Indian, Western medicine like European centers, Canadian centers, British centers, very nice. They pay also well, they respect your work, everything is good. But Indian organizations and Egyptian organizations, that means the clinic owner is Indian or the clinic owner is Egyptian, bad organizations. They don't expect you to take breaks, a lot of working hours, a lot of target based work. So whenever you're choosing, see who is the clinic owner, what all conditions they are putting for you and all of that while choosing a job. Okay. I will tell you the home care organizations in our group which are doing pretty well here, which can where you can apply for the job. um, DHA license is valid for 1 year. So after 1 year, your healthcare facility only renews it for you. Okay. Uh, my healthcare facility, my healthcare facility has activated my DHA license for 2 years. My DHA DOH license, that is hard license, which is for Abu Dhabi for 2 years, and also MOH, that is Ministry of Health um, license, which is for Sharjah, Fujairah, Ras Al Khaimah, Alain. These are the different emirates. That means different cities in UAE. So I have got license for these cities also for 2 years. So it is based on your organization also, based on the contract also. Okay, my organization has activated it for 2 years. So, but I think they mostly they do it for one year. Okay. Any more questions you have, which I might have skipped while explaining? So just be open, switch on your cameras and switch on your mic and ask, okay? If you are working as a home care physiotherapist along with working in hospital, and we are getting home visits from the hospital, how to get work experience certification in this case? Then the hospital wherever you're associated with has to issue an experience certificate that Pragati was working with us as a inpatient physiotherapist or IPD physiotherapist along with home care physiotherapist. So just mention whatever was your role. So if your role is also to work in the hospital, OPD based, IPD based, and also the home care physio, both the things mentioned in one certificate, and get the tenure of the service. So from this date to this date, like that. The date, month, year is important in your work experience certificate, nothing else. They need to check that. Dhwani, they some of the organizations, they do considered speciality because they do want sports physios, orthophysios separately. Okay, there are certain sports rehab centers here or hospitals like Burjil Hospital, which is purely an orthopedic hospital, like how we have Sancheti Hospital in Pune. So they prefer MSK physios there. Like they prefer all these joint replacement centers and sports rehab centers. They prefer MSK. Specifically, they require for sports physios and all of that. So definitely, speciality is considered here in many of the cases. There are a couple of rehabilitation centers in Abu Dhabi, um, in Dubai also, with where they require specific neurophysios, okay? Because it's a neuro rehab center. There's a King's College London Department of Physiotherapy. Their maximum neuro patients are, being treated. So they need OTs there and PTs there and, speech therapists there. So specialty is definitely considered here. And it's a plus point if you have MPT in neuro, musculo, whatever. If you have MPT degree, even the cardiopulmonary is really booming here because now they have started understanding the importance of the specialty, and they definitely in the job description also put that required a sports physiotherapist or MSK physiotherapist, like that they put in the description also. In my CV, Raksha, in my CV, it is mentioned in my resume, it is mentioned that I am a master's in neurophysiotherapy. Okay. While applying for my DHA, I have applied with my both the degrees. I did not apply only with my, with my BPT degree. I have applied with what do you say? Spend more money because I was unsure whether only one document to upload or two documents to upload. So, in my opinion, spend more money, put both the documents, put your MPT degree also, BPT degree also, and in the work experience certificate, you put your um, post MPT 2 years experience that you put. That is considered as, that will be enough in my opinion. So if you have done BPT and you have worked for 1.5 year, then you do MPT and then you have worked for 2 years. So in that scenario, what you can do is document you can upload BPT degree, MPT degree, and the work experience you can upload anything you have done post masters. That will be considered better in terms of बहुत ज्यादा डॉक्यूमेंट्स क्यों अप्लाई एप्लीकेशन में डालने हैं ना, जो रिक्वायर्ड है वही डालो. सो in my case, I have done my BPT, immediately I have done my MPT, and immediately I have done my job. So it was really a very simple thing, right? Like I did not have much of complications in that, because they do ask for a gap certificate otherwise, and you have to provide a reasoning and a valid gap certificate, either like a maternity certificate or whatever, which is considered as valid, that why you have taken a gap, even if it is like a 1 year gap. Okay. So Mehran, hi Mehran. So for Pakistani physios, yes, GPA here matters because your system is slightly different than Indian physios. They do ask for couple of more documents from your Pakistani Physiotherapy Association, uh, a certificate called as no objection certificate from PPA, right? You have a PPA, if I'm not wrong. I really have no idea, but that much I know, that they do require one NOC from your PPA, which is Pakistani Physio Association, something like that. You have some two organizations, right? In Pakistan. One is your Pakistan Physio Association and one is something else. So they require an NOC letter from your organization along with the good standing certificate. Okay. And yes, your GPA will matter uh, in terms of if you are applying in a bigger rehabilitation center. If you're applying for a small scale based clinics, then it will not matter. In the hospital job, it definitely will matter. Even in home care, it will not matter so much. Okay. So I think I hope I'm clear with your question. Basic life support is also required for DHA. But when you are starting the process, it's not necessary. You know, I did not have the recent basic life support certificate when I applied for my DHA, so I did not choose that option on the website. Later on, when my facility was applying for my DOH license, which is Department of Health, Abu Dhabi, then I had to do a BLS. So I did a BLS course here and I applied that to DOH along with that certificate. So here you need BLS and also the ACLS certificate. But for DHA processing, when you start your process, it's not compulsory because I went ahead without BLS certificate. If you have BLS, then it is definitely preferred. That you should mention in your CV also, that you have a recent BLS certificate, because that also they consider here. Any more questions? Distant masters, you're practicing in a hospital. I'm not very sure, Saloni, if they accept the distance masters, because they need the degree from a recognized, authorized institute. So if it is, I'm not sure, because IAP and our some of the councils, they don't have those universities don't have the accreditations from our government. So any which way doing a distance masters is a bad idea. There's no use of that degree in my opinion. Um, but you apply with BPT degree and whatever experience certificates you have. Because I'm not sure whether the distance masters from your current university will be considered legal and will be considered. mm I don't know. I'm not very sure. Okay, I have to ask about this. Uh, Dhwani, if you have publications, case reports, whatever, in a UGC approved journals, it's definitely a plus point for your CV because you can mention that in your achievements in your CV. I will share my resume with all of you so you can understand how I have structured it, which gives them an idea that I can increase the revenue or I am a good candidate to increase the business. Okay. So you can mention your publications in the section of achievements in your resumes. Okay, so my achievement in my resume is I have conducted a workshop, I have conducted more than 15 webinars, master classes, I have mentored 200 plus students. So that is like my achievement. I have mentioned that in my resume. So if you have done anything which is um, a little extra, then you should mention that. So the publications and the article or like case reports, it is definitely going to be a plus point when you mention it in your CV. Okay, so do mention that in your CV. You need 2 years of working experience after your masters. If you are applying after masters, they will ask for 2 years of work experience after MPTH degree. Okay. For HCPC registered physios, the exam is the DHA test is exempted. Yeah, you don't need to give the exam if you're HCPC registered, even if you did not practice in UK. Okay, you are exempted from the DHA test. That's what I have heard. That if you are HCPC registered, then you just need the HCPC registration. You need the PSV report, the primary source verification here, and then you will receive your. You can apply for the eligibility letter. If we give DHA, it will make us eligible in just one city. Yes, not overall UAE. DHA, Dubai Health Authority is only for Dubai. For Abu Dhabi, you have HAD license, that is Department of Health, that is DOH license. For Sharjah, as an emirate, you have MOH, that is Ministry of Health. For Fujairah, you have MOH. Fujairah is another city. For Russell Khema, you have MOH, that is another city. Al Ain, that is another city, you have DOH. Okay, so hard licensing. What you can do is the easiest is the DHA license. The easiest is the DHA eligibility letter. Once you get your DHA eligibility letter, you also have an option to transfer it to hard and transfer it to MOH because it becomes easy for them since um, since hard, that is your DOH license, DHA, MOH, all these three licenses are under one system, that is data flow. So data flow does document verification and credential evaluation for all the three all the three licensing processes. So once you have a DHA eligibility letter, they already have your data in terms of document verification. So you just need to apply for another PSV report and they will do the rest of the things. So you have to pay for that and you can transfer it to HAD and MOH. ओके सो व्हेन माय फैसिलिटी जहां मैं काम करती हूँ जहां मैं जॉब करती हूँ व्हेन दे अप्लाइड फॉर माय DOH एंड माय MOH license, they took my DHA license also, and then they applied like same, they applied for the PSV verification, and then my PSV report came, like how for the DHA first time it came, and then my MOH and my DOH was activated. Okay, but I don't have to give exam since I already had DHA license, not eligibility license. Okay. So that's how you can transfer it. Okay. DHA works only for Dubai, and Dubai is a city. It's not a country. Country is United Arab Emirates, that is UAE. Dubai is one city. Abu Dhabi is one city, which is the capital. Sharjah is a city, which is another city, another emirate. Ras Al Khaimah is another emirate. Fujairah is another emirate. Al Ain is another emirate. Emirate means the city. Okay, the cities we have here. So DHA is applicable only for Dubai. It says Dubai Health Authority. It is only for Dubai. Okay. So if you want to work in Abu Dhabi, if you want to work in Sharjah, you have to give separate exam for DOH and MOH. Or another option is, once your DHA license is activated, that means when any healthcare organization hires you, आपको दुबई में जॉब मिल गया है, आपका दुबई लाइसेंस एक्टिवेट हो गया है, देन यू कैन अप्लाई फॉर DOH एंड MOH. फिर आपको एग्जाम देने का जरूरत नहीं है, लाइक मी. So my company did it for me. If you're not working in home care, and if you just want to do the DOH and MOH for finding better jobs in Abu Dhabi and Sharjah, once your DHA license is activated, you can apply for DOH and MOH after that. Then no need for the exam. But if you are starting in India for DOH and MOH, you have to apply for the exam. And I have no idea about those exams because I only did DHA. So those Prometric exam, I have no idea. I only know that the DOH exam, that is hard licensing, hard registration, the exam is very difficult. And that exam definitely requires coaching. Okay. That exam is difficult. Hi, Akash. So the extra certificates courses are recognized here. And your dry needling is recognized. People do prefer physios with dry needling certification and taping certificate. That's what I have understood. Of course, aquatic therapy is a plus point again. PNF neurodynamics, nobody has ever asked or nobody has given any their experience with me. But yeah, dry needling and taping is something they check. Even if you are a certified Pilates instructor, that is also a plus point. So if you're going in a fitness centers, or if you're finding jobs in health fitness centers, health centers, then certificates like Pilates instructor, that will also count in your resume. HCPC registered, I only know that from the DHA exam they're exempted. Rest, I have no idea. And DHA exam is only written exam. There is no oral exam. It's only the Prometric test, computer-based assessment. That's it. Okay, so it's only that. We don't have any oral exams here. It is valid, Sanjayta, what I mentioned, that all whatever workshops you are doing in India, the dry needling certification, taping, your cupping and manual therapy are valid here for the practice. Okay, you can uh, show them that, and you can put yourself that you are certified dry needling practitioner, certified manual therapist. You can. It is valid here for the practice. No. IELTS is not necessary for the process. I have never given any IELTS exam for the English proficiency. That is not required for DHA. I am not, I don't know about DOH and MOH either, but I don't think so that is necessary for any of the exams. It is definitely not needed for DHA. Okay. Is there any more questions? Okay, to be professor and go into the academic job, you need a PhD. So they don't accept candidates who have done masters, like how in India we have academic jobs after our MPT. So here the academic jobs are only for people who have PhD. Okay, not PhD scholars also. For example, Dr. Vakar Naqvi is working here as a professor in Gulf Medical University. He's already had his PhD in community medicine. After that, he applied here and he has got the opportunity. And now he's doing a second PhD in Gulf Medical University as well. So he's already got one PhD, so he got the job. So here, for academic jobs, it is compulsory to have a PhD. So for BPTs, MPTs, it's only the clinic, hospitals, and home care. These are the three options you have. And of course, you have options like gyms, health fitness centers, and aesthetic clinics. Aesthetic clinics are, मतलब यहाँ पे अलग चलते हैं ये सब clinics, जहाँ पे they do liposuction, a lot of cosmetic and aesthetic, surgeries, or what you say, procedures like Botox and all of that. So yeah, aesthetic beauty clinics are really, really like it बहुत चलता है यहाँ पे ये, because people here, it's very cheap also to get a Botox and all those procedures done here. And some of that, those clinics, aesthetic clinics have physio vacancy, but I'm not someone I will endorse that, or I will ever work in such type of clinics जहाँ पे मुझे liposuction की machine सिखा रहे हैं and I'm working like a technician. No, I can't do that job. So if you are okay with it and you want to earn money and start ASAP, you can go ahead. That is your own integrity as a physio, right? Did master's degree help in getting job after DHA? Yeah, my master's degree, they definitely they considered my experience also. They considered my MPT degree also, and that's exactly why I'm definitely getting double salary what the starting salary is here for the beginners. Okay, so my beginner salary is definitely more than what other people must be getting here. So that is because of my home country experience, my social media presence, and my MPT degree and my aquatic therapy certification. Okay, so it definitely makes um, your profile stronger. Jamshed, you are asking about the 2 years of work experience. I have 9 years of work experience. Okay, so I have, in how I have divided my 9 years of experiences. 4 years I have worked in Bombay Hospital, and after that I have worked as a solely as a home care physio, as a private practitioner, right? Like I was not working with anybody, but fortunately, I have made such professional connections that the doctors who were referring cases to me were ready to give me the work experience certificate. So what I did is I chose only one doctor, and I told him that I need a work experience certificate. For all these years, I was working as a home care physio, and he gave me one certificate which mentioned, I will tell you. So my work experience in Bombay Hospital ended in November 2019. So the next work experience certificate from my neurologist, I got was from December 2019 itself. So I did not have any gap, honestly speaking, in my work experience. So what I did is I uploaded both the documents. So I uploaded my work experience from Bombay Hospital, and at the same time I uploaded my work experience from the neurologist with whom I was associated as a home care physiotherapist. So only two documents I uploaded, which was pretty, it was mentioned in, there was no gap any which way in my experience. I have never taken a gap from 2014 till now. So it was like only two documents, stating everything. So for me, it wasn't so complicated. Uh, they require, you need minimum 2 years of experience. Maximum is, it's up to you. But जितने ज्यादा डॉक्यूमेंट्स अपलोड करोगे उतना ज्यादा you will have to pay, right? So why do you want to do that? I uploaded whatever I have, both the degrees and both the work experiences. Okay, So it's better that to, on a safer side, you upload your experience certificate, whatever you have. But if you have one certificate which states that you have experience after masters or after bachelor's for 2 years, only upload that. Now, why you want to complicate things? So for me, it wasn't so complicated. The beginner salary is 4,000 AED. So 4,000 AED is, oh, I'll calculate and tell you, okay? Indian rupees. 4,000 AED is 88,000 approximately Indian rupees. So, I mean, it's cheap, right? Like it's nothing, it's peanuts. My driver has 2,500 dirham salary, who is working here. So 4,000 is nothing. 4,000 में कुछ नहीं होगा. यहाँ पे minimum आपका खर्चा ही 2-2,500 तो minimum निकल जाएगा. Even if you are living in a bed space. तो उससे तो फिर you should have at least 5,000. That's like like you should ask for at least 5,000 when you're appearing for the job. 4,000 is nothing. Okay. So don't accept the jobs which are giving you 4,000 AED unless they are giving you perks like incentives. If they are ready to give incentives, ready to hike after probation, and also if they are giving you visa, because so many organizations here now they ask, job description में ही लिख के आता है कि sponsored visa और husband's visa होगा तो वो prefer करते हैं वही candidate, because उनका पैसा बच जाता है ना. They don't have to really uh, pay for the visa and stuff, so they prefer people like that who are on their own, who are on the sponsored visa. Like I am on a sponsored visa, I have not changed my visa status. Okay, so that is also one question. No, 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 no. Payal, this banned work visas for Indian and Pakistanis, it is majorly for Pakistani people and people who are from the labor class. So it's not for Indians at all, number one, and also for Pakistani people who are Pakistani, Bangladeshi, and people coming from South African countries, labor class. Okay, so for them, they had banned work visa, but now they have started again. So even now, they are giving the work visas to people coming from Pakistan, Bangladesh, as a labors, not for us. We are healthcare sector is really a priority for them. Okay, so it's not like that they are not giving work visas or whatever. No, healthcare is healthcare is booming here. They definitely need more healthcare professionals, but it is not so easy to find a job here. Plus now the next 1 month is the Ramadan month, so again the hiring is slow because they have half day working. Some organizations have full day, but mostly they have half day working, or the work duration is less, तो उनका काम ज़्यादा होता नहीं है. Some people take leave. We have ईद का छुट्टी, which is 5 दिन का छुट्टी होता है यहाँ पे, जैसे how we have Diwali. So Eid is a major festival here. So we have in April we have छुट्टी for Eid, which is a long holiday for us. And plus overall Ramadan में थोड़ा यहाँ पे हर एक चीज़ slow ही हो जाती है. Patient का flow भी कम होता है, hiring process भी बहुत slow होता है. And everything is little bit on the slower side. Okay, because it's Ramadan, it's their prayer month, and it's like a holy month. So they the duration of the working hours is also less, not for us, not for healthcare professionals, but the government offices. So it is, the hiring is going to be a slower process, except issuing the eligibility letter and some of the things. Okay, so my eligibility letter came in 1 day, which was very unusual. People take a week's time, or some people have taken 1 month time also to get the eligibility letter. So wo bhi ek hai. To someone told me that because it was a Ramadan time, so the eligibility letter came faster, because these letters and all of that issuing happens, like they do it faster in Ramadan, because of the working hours. Otherwise, yeah. It's not easy to treat patients in Dubai. Akash, your question, was it easy to treat patients in Dubai compared to India? Awareness about the physio. Okay. Um, it's not so easy to treat patients. That is my personal opinion because I am a home care physio. So I am going and visiting multinationals. Okay, so I have Egyptian patients, I have Pakistani patients, I have Emirati local patients, I have Indian patients, um, European patients, people coming from Canada, people coming from Syria. I have seen people who are from Jordan, who are from France. So multinationals. Okay, so every time you go and you try to communicate, try to explain things, uh, a lot of cultural barrier is there. So it is definitely a little bit difficult for my role, what I'm currently doing, because it's a home health care. So मेरे रोल के लिए वो डेफिनेटली चैलेंजिंग है, अभी भी चैलेंजिंग है बिकॉज लैंग्वेज बैरियर. Another thing is a lot of cultural shock I am getting here, which I never expected. Probably people coming from Pakistan, I think they will not get so much of a cultural shock because they are partly from the same culture. But for me, it is slightly, it was certain things were difficult to absorb and to understand as a cultural part. So that was definitely difficult for me to strategize the rehab and connect with my patients. So yeah, so if it's a neuro case, if it's a Emirati case, like they're only Arabic speaking, and if it's neuro and plus they have a lot of other issues, then it is challenging for me. But I'm learning Arabic for my sessions. Whatever little I can use for my sessions, I'm definitely working on that so that I can connect with my patients better. Otherwise, apart from that, the awareness is there definitely in Dubai. You will see more awareness. In Abu Dhabi also you will see a lot of awareness. Sharjah overall there is no awareness for a lot of things. It is a little um, different, compared to Dubai and Abu Dhabi, because in Sharjah you will not see many females also on the road. So that is also like a cultural shock for me, because when I go to Sharjah to see patients, and sometimes I stand on the road for my driver to come and the car to come, and then people start like looking at you because hardly any ladies are seen there, and even if they are there, then they are in the hijab and burqa. So it's, and I'm in the uniform, so it's a little bit different for me. It was a different experience for me. Dubai is very chilled out. You have all sort of people here, so that is not a problem. In Sharjah, you're not allowed to wear sleeveless, you're not allowed to wear short clothes, even for men. Okay, even for men, they are not allowed to wear shorts, they are not allowed to wear the ganjis and all of that. So Sharjah is relatively strict in certain things compared to Dubai and Abu Dhabi. The awareness is equal, I feel. Sharjah, not Sharjah so much, but Dubai and Abu Dhabi, definitely awareness is there. Uh, Nobody has asked me if physiotherapy means massage and all of that. So most of these people, they definitely know the importance of physio. They know the role of the physio. Um, yeah, I mean, I never had any bad experience in terms of lack of awareness here. So yeah. Raksha, here you don't get permanent residency, unfortunately. As a healthcare professional, we can definitely get a golden visa here. So, golden visa is like you get a straight 10 years working visa here or 10 years residential visa here. UAE does not give PR, that is permanent residency. It's not allowed. You have to reapply and redo your visa. They do not give it to anybody. No Indian, no Pakistani, no Bangladeshi, nobody from Western countries also. So the concept of PR is not here, like Canada. So it's not like that. So you can definitely apply as a healthcare professional for golden visa if your plan is to stay in UAE for longer period of time. you can apply for PR, golden visa. Golden visa, you definitely have more perks also. But the I think the condition is also that you need to buy a property here. So you have to invest in a buying a property here. So I think if you can buy that, then only you can apply for the golden visa here. So basically they want to see that you have invested money in their country. So if you can show that you have bought a property, then you can apply for a golden visa. If your plan is to stay in UAE for a long period of time, you can apply for a golden visa. If no, then why do you wish to go ahead, right? Because I think the cost is around 3 to 4 thousand dirhams for applying for golden visa, and of course certain documents also. The healthcare treatment is definitely expensive here. So the thing is, the dental treatment and the your eye treatment, optical, what you say, ophthalmology, that is not considered in the insurance. Here, we get insurance from the company we are working for. And of course, I am on a sponsored visa. So from my husband's company, also I have got a insurance. So definitely you are under insurance for every single thing except the dental treatment and the eye treatment. That is purely cash based. So you have to pay the cash and get your dental treatment or eye treatment done. So people prefer going back to India and doing it because it is cheaper there. So yeah, the healthcare treatment is definitely expensive here. So if you want to get any surgeries done, if you want to get any major surgeries, dental treatment, eye treatment done, then it's relatively cheaper to go to India, pay the ticket price, go to India, get the treatment done, and come back. तो इतना ज्यादा डिफरेंस है यहाँ पे. So yeah. After working in Dubai, can we apply for UK and Australia? Will it be easy as compared to India? See, I feel once you get an international exposure, that will be considered any which way, right? So, suppose you are an Indian PT and you have an experience outside your country anywhere, and then you apply for another country, definitely they will consider your um, the experience you're getting in Dubai or any other country for that matter. I don't know whether it will be easy or whatever, but once you start working in another country, I think because I was working in India, now I'm working here, so I know I think I'm more confident for the entire process. I'm more confident to talk to multiple people. I'm more confident to take or to have a better clinical decision making because I'm exposed to a lot of uh, you know cultural ups and downs here. So I think as a physio, I have become um, more confident here after starting my job here, right? And of course, I'm earning more money. So yeah. The perks they provide to employees, definitely the incentives. After 1 year or some of them after probation, they will give you hike. So a definite hike is there in the after a year in your working profile as a physio. They also provide bonus in the month of February or March for the healthcare professionals. I did not receive it this month because my probation ended in January, so I'm not eligible for that. So next year I will get a bonus also, um, which is under the UAE what you say regulations for the healthcare professionals. In the bank accounts, when you open a bank account, because you are a healthcare professional, one transaction to your home country is free. So if you are sending money to home country once a month, there will not be any like the transaction fee because you are a healthcare professional. So I have a ADCB account in the bank called ADCB, and I am a healthcare professional. So once in a month, if I want to transfer money to my Indian account, then that transaction does not have fee. It's a free transaction. Otherwise, you have to pay like around 50 dirhams for as a transaction fee. So 50 dirhams means around 1500 rupees extra as a fee. But that also depends which bank you have a bank account. So that is a perk for us as a healthcare professional. Um, and then another perk is, of course, insurance is compulsory for everyone, and based on where you're working, and your company is associated with which insurance company, then also it depends on that as well. Okay, so the insurance will depend in which healthcare facility you're working in. I think these are the perks which we get as an employee. Apart from that, the leave system, yeah, we do get 30 days annual leave, 15 days sick leaves. So 45 days of leave in a year you can take. And the maternity leave is for 60 days. So these are the leaves which you get. Uh, the UPI will start working in UAE now after the recent collaboration by our government with UAE government. So UPI will start working now. Otherwise, no. Otherwise, we have here Samsung Pay as an online mode, and our debit cards are like the touch debit card. So you don't have to swipe it. It's just one touch and you can pay. So you get debit card and credit card from your bank, which you can utilize. Rest, the bank transactions are very easy. We have bank apps here. My Indian number is still working because I do recharge for my Indian number still using Paytm and our Google Pay and all of that. Because I have my Good Physio project, which by which I do get an Indian money also, right? For my income tax. So then I need my Indian account active. I need my Indian number also active. So I am doing recharge of that, and I have my UAE number. Here, one more interesting thing is, once you get a visa, the residence visa, then you have to apply for the Emirates ID. So Emirates ID is like Aadhaar card of UAE. So for with that Emirates ID, everything is attached. So how many SIM cards you have on your Emirates ID, that is also, we have an app called as UAE Pass. So UAE Pass में सब कुछ दिखता है कि आपके पास कितने सिम कार्ड्स हैं, आपके एमिरेट्स आईडी पे कितने बैंक अकाउंट रजिस्टर्ड है. सो यू नीड द एमिरेट्स आईडी फर्स्ट फॉर एवरीथिंग, फॉर गेटिंग एन अपार्टमेंट ऑन रेंट, फॉर SIM card, for bank account, for everything you need the Emirates ID. So definitely, after you receive your residence visa, your healthcare facility will apply for Emirates ID. Once you get the Emirates ID, you can apply for the house for rent, then for bank account, and also for the SIM card. So without Emirates ID, कुछ भी possible नहीं है. So because my husband is working here and we have, he was already here. So we have, a house and everything on his, the contract and everything on his Emirates ID. So yeah. Dubai prefer physios from their home country. There are a couple of clinics which prefers, like they mention specifically that they want Russian physios, or they want Tagalog speaking. Tagalog is a language Filipinos speak. So people coming from Philippines, they speak Tagalog language. So they mentioned that we want Tagalog speaking physio. We want a specific Emirati physio, we want Russian physio. So they do mention like that if they have a preference. But I never faced any challenge in my skill when I am interacting with so many multinationals, that I think it's in your own hand also. So how you really manage yourself as a physio, how you understand the importance of soft skills, and then how can you convert a lead, it's in your own way of talking also. So I think if you have a command in your own communication and you're confident enough to conduct the session, you can. I did not face much challenges here in terms of the things what you are mentioning, Akash. But yeah, so any more questions? I hope the process is clear. Um, Whenever you guys need any help in terms of for the process, you can always DM me on Insta, or you can always message me. I will definitely, try to get back to your queries whenever I get time. I'm going to send the Prometric notes to people who attended this webinar, max to max by Tuesday. So, you can go through that. And I will send my resume also, so that you all can understand what sort of a resume will click here, for the job. But yeah, the reality is, the jobs are difficult here, and it's not very easy to get a job here. That is like a reality. Okay, so if you think that you have DHA eligibility letter, so many people have gone back. Okay, so many physios have gone back to India because they did not get any job during that tourist visa, um, whatever visa days they had, like 60 days or 30 days, they did not get any job, so they have gone back. So it's difficult here. Okay, it's not so easy. My situation is different because I have a roof under me. My husband is working, I'm on a sponsored visa, so even if I don't work, I leave the job, nothing is wrong in that, because I still will have a visa here to stay. So do not compare your situation with me. And my personal preference would be, if you are on a sponsored visa and then you're working in UAE, then only you're saving more money, then only you are earning more money. Otherwise, uh, I feel India is better. I mean, that is like my end line for today's discussion, that Indian market is much more better than doing a job here, okay? Because you can earn the same amount in India, and plus you will save also more, unless you are getting like a really good amount here. So if you're not getting, if you're, अगर आप इंडियन रुपीज में उसको कन्वर्ट करके सिर्फ 80,000 88,000 ही कमा रहे हो, so it is not recommended to come here and waste your time and waste your energy and waste your money also, because the processing will require you to pay around a lakh, right? 80,000 to a lakh. So I will not recommend. If you are earning only 4,000 dirham, then it's not worth it. If you're earning around 7 to 8,000 dirham, then definitely you should consider. Okay. I don't think so. There are any more questions in the chat. So you all can DM me on Insta, or you can message me on my number with whatever query you have, and I will send the Prometric notes max by Tuesday evening. Okay. Is there any more questions, or shall I end the meeting? And I will also send the recording. Okay.